What's up everybody? Ben here with the Spirit of Running, and today we're talking about the Hoka Mach X. This shoe weighs in for the men at 9.2 ounces, for the women at 8 ounces, has a 5mm drop, and retails for $180. Before we really get into the shoe, this is definitely a shoe that I was very excited to get my hands on. I think there are two pivotal shoes for Hoka this year, the Rocket X2 and the Mach X. The reason that I say this is that traditionally Hoka has done a really fantastic job at providing us with good, comfortable shoes that we can use in our long runs that are just really great general shoes for work, for running, and lifestyle. Where Hoka has not traditionally done a great job is on the go fast and the racing side of things. And I think that the Rocket X2 and the Mach X are really pivotal shoes for the brand this year, and really give me a lot to be excited about in the coming years, because what I think has happened in other brands and what I think we'll see from Hoka and what I think we're already seeing is that the technology that they put into the race shoes and that makes the racing shoes really great starts to trickle down and affect all of the other shoes in the brand. The first thing that I was really excited about with this shoe is rubber on the bottom. One of the things that I've disliked about Hoka in the past is that Hoka, in order to save weight and keep the shoes nice and light, has used like a rubberized EVA compound on the bottom. It's more durable than regular EVA, but it still just kind of falls apart and wears down faster than like a traditional rubber does. So I was really excited when I got this shoe and saw that there's actual rubber on the bottom. So I think that alone makes this shoe much more durable than any shoe that we've seen from Hoka in the last couple years. One of my favorite shoes from previous years to run in has been the Mach. Mach 4 was the first version that I ran in, and I ran in the Mach 5 as well, was that it just wasn't as durable as it should have been. Not because the midsole broke down or the upper, I had a toe pop through the upper or anything like that, but because as I ran on the concrete, the EVA wore down too quickly. And I know I'm spending a lot of time talking about having rubber on the bottom of the shoe, but again, I think this is just such a pivotal transition for Hoka, and I'm really excited, and I hope that this trend continues into other shoes going into 2024. Going through the midsole, Hoka has this combination EVA and PIBA. So we've got EVA on the bottom, PIBA on the top, and in the middle is a PBAX plate. This was another thing that I was really excited about because I don't think anybody has done a plate made out of PBAX. So PBAX is this very versatile component that we see in super shoes. It's what they've used to make all the super racing shoes really lightweight, really bouncy. It definitely aids in recovery, but it's a very versatile shoe. It can be used to make something super lightweight and super bouncy, but it can also be used to turn into a plastic-like material that's much more rigid. And so that's what they've done with this shoe. What I like about that midsole is the plate gives a really nice pop, and then the PIBA on the upper layer gives a really nice soft bouncy feel. But as a bigger guy, and I think for a lot of runners, having a lot of those super shoes can be really unstable in the heel, especially if you use like a walk run method, or if you're just if you have any sort of pronation issues with your feet and ankles. Those super shoes can kind of tear you up depending on your running style. One of the things I like about combining the PIBA and a traditional EVA in the midsole and putting a plate in between all of that is that it creates a much more stable shoe. So I don't feel that instability in the ankle. I feel just nice and stable whether I'm walking or whether I'm running, and my foot path is just smooth. And so I think that this is a really fantastic shoe in general for a wide range of people. The upper fits really well. I didn't have any issues with it. It's a very nice voluminous upper. The heel cup has good padding, and then we've got a gusseted tongue. Big fan of that. One of my favorite features about this shoe, and I've never gotten excited about this feature on any shoe before, is the laces. The laces almost have like an elasticity to them. So when you're tying the laces up, you have this sense that there's a little bit of stretch in there, which I think gives a little more leeway in the shoe when you're running for swelling, but it also just gives a really nice, secure fit to the shoe. So I always just really liked how the lacing, because of whatever material they put in those laces, just locks my foot in place, and I feel really good running in the shoe. Runners and walkers. The Mach X definitely falls into that super trainer category in that it's designed to do just everything. I think that this is a really great shoe that you could put all your training miles in. And I think that it's also a shoe that you can get your speed work done, and you could race in if you wanted. This might be one of my favorite shoes to race in for larger runners because of the stability of the EVA PIBA combination in that midsole, and the fact that it's just much more stable through the stride. I think that as somebody over 200 pounds, this is definitely a phenomenal race option for me and for anybody else who looks and runs like I do. I also think this is a really fantastic race option for anybody who normally trains in a stability shoe. So if your normal go-to shoe in the Hoka line is the Arahi or the Gaviota, or if we're going over to Brooks in the Adrenaline, the Beast, Glycerin GTS, any of the shoes that are designed to provide guidance or correction for pronation, I think this could be a really good racing shoe for you as well. I think that stability in the heel that I really enjoy when I walk run will also help keep everything in just better alignment for those who overpronate and who use shoes to correct for that in your daily training. So I think that this could really be a fantastic option for your speed day shoe and your race day shoe. Now, I don't think that this is just a shoe for larger runners or for people who pronate. I think that if you're a neutral runner, this really is a shoe that you can do everything in. You can run your easy miles in, you can walk the dog in it if you want. It's super comfortable. Spirit and I have done a lot of walks in the Mach X because I did want to just see how it felt doing a little bit of everything. And I think that this shoe and for me, the Super Blast from Asics are probably the two best super trainers on the market right now, because I feel completely confident recommending them to almost anybody to do just about anything in. The Meta Rocker in this shoe feels phenomenal. So if as a walker, when I was doing my power walking, I really felt that I came through the stride nice and smooth. The plate in the shoe really gives a nice push off from the back of the stride into the next step. So again, whether whatever your goal is with your movement, I think this is a really phenomenal shoe to look at. Downsides to the shoe in the run walk world. And I will say that a lot of this could have to do with my stride and my stride length and where my foot lands. I'm really excited about the fact that Hoka has a rubber outsole on this shoe. However, I still think that it needs improvement because in wet conditions, I did have some slipping, especially doing my speed work in less than dry conditions. I noticed that as I was pushing off, specifically from my left foot, but I think that's just because there was more water in the line of my left foot than there was my right foot. As I was pushing off from the back of my stride and moving into the right foot, my left foot would just slip a little bit on the pavement. That could also have to do with the fact that everything in Pearland is concrete. There's not any asphalt to run on. So I think if you're running in wet conditions on asphalt, not a problem. But I think that running in wet conditions on cement, I just had a little bit of slipping, with that. Now I didn't have any slipping or any issues running in dry conditions. And even then, like, it was very minor, but I think that the rubber can be improved a little bit. In the gym, I think that this is a really phenomenal option to like go get my run in. And then if I'm doing just some general body work, not a problem. I don't think this is a shoe that I'm gonna lift heavy in. And because of the price point at $180, I'm still probably taking another pair of shoes with me to switch out of the Mach X and switch into another pair of shoes for the rest of the gym session, just because I want to save the Mach X for my run miles. And I want to just get as many miles out of that on the run as I can, because it's just a fun shoe to run in. But I don't think that for general work it's gonna be a problem. The shoe is stable enough. I wouldn't do any heavy squats or deads or any really technical lifts in it. But otherwise, I wouldn't have an issue using this in the gym. The thickness of the midsole could make strapping into like a bike or a rower problematic. But play around with it, see what works out for you. As a work shoe, phenomenal. That Piva upper is just so soft to step in and move around in. The shoe is stable enough that when you're just standing around, especially if you're on your feet, in a single position all day, that it's a really comfortable shoe to work in. The potential downsides to the shoe as a work shoe are that there are only 3 color offerings. This being kind of that in that super trainer category, it's not really meant to appeal to a really broad range of people outside the running world. And so I think that, if we're looking for a work shoe only, I think you might be better served both financially and, from aesthetically, looking at shoes like the Clifton or the Bondi, which are phenomenal running shoes, but also come in colors that, are a little more work appropriate. The most work appropriate Mach X is the black, but it does have rainbows all over it. I'm a huge fan of it, because give me all the colors. But if you're in a work environment different than I am, where I'm in the running store and can wear all the colors, might be a little problematic with the even a business casual dress code. But I think that if you're in a position where you like the look of it and it's not a dress code issue, really comfortable shoe to wear. And I think that if the finances aren't an issue, go for it. It's super comfortable to wear, just in an all day setting. In summary, I love this shoe. I think that it's a huge step forward for Hoka, and it really makes me excited about the brand. I feel like in general, Hoka had kind of gotten into this position of, we're making great shoes, we're kind of on top of the world, let's not fix what's not broken. But again, I think that the one area that they were not doing great in was like this idea of like a go fast shoe. The Carbon X, was kind of a flop, I think, for a couple of years. And then they released the Rocket X2, which for me was a problem because it was only direct to consumer, and it was hard, it was hard for people to get on their feet. So I think if the Rocket X3 comes out in 2024, I'm really hoping to see that in retail stores. I think that this trend of racing shoes being direct to consumer only from the brands is a mistake, because I think that they're missing out on opportunities. But that's my personal opinion. That's one of the reasons I love the Mach X, is because it's available to everybody anywhere that you go for your specialty running shoes. And so I think that this shoe really epitomizes for me what the next couple years of Hoka can be, and I'm excited to see where it goes. So if you have any questions, comments, please leave those in the comments section. And be sure and hit the like and subscribe button. I also want to say that we have launched a new website. So definitely go check out www.spiritofrunning.com. I'm going to be releasing written reviews on spiritofrunning.com and getting reviews out a little faster on that side. I'll still be releasing video reviews here on YouTube, but I can get information out onto the written website a little faster than I can record and edit and publish to YouTube. So everything that goes on the website, I'm hoping will have a video review as well. But I'm hoping to really expand that, and that's kind of where I'll document some of my own training adventures as well, as in the YouTube space, and just try and offer a little more for everybody. So spiritofrunning.com, be sure and hit the like and subscribe button on this video so you don't miss out on future content as well. And if you get a chance, go grab yourself a pair of the Hoka Mach X. I think it's a really fantastic shoe, and I look forward to seeing it out there. Thanks.